I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
From Shanghai Noon, Rush Hour, and Rush Hour 2, Jackie Chan. Accidents do happen. The Accidental Spy.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review, and there's another paid request, this time for Wes. It is a film called The Accidental Spy. It's a Jackie Chan film from around 2001. And as a Jackie Chan film, this isn't one of my favorites. I would say this. Number one, I know there's differences between the American cut and the overseas cut. And the American cut has about 20-some minutes missing. And in fact, the plot is different. Like, I believe in the overseas cut, it deals with anthrax. But in this cut, it deals with opium. As to what the MacGuffin is, what the bad guys are trying to find, all that jazz. I would say this. This is one of those Jackie Chan films, and a lot of people say this for a lot of his, that the plot doesn't matter. That the plot, who cares about the plot? That's understandable, but at the same time, even in Rumble in the Bronx, even in Super Cop, even in Mr. Nice Guy, or Operation Condor, I can kind of still get into the plot, or maybe the simple synopsis. Oh, Jackie Chan works on a cooking show, and these. What's going to happen? Oh, there's Richard Norton and Rumble in the Bronx. Oh yeah, he just wanted to see his uncle, and he's trying to do his best. And okay, yeah, there's not a lot to the, but there's still entertaining enough that to get me by until the next action scene. I don't think that's the case here. And this is also a film that at times wants to be a bit more serious, and then at times wants to be a bit goofy. So go from terrorists killing this news crew where these people died of something, whether it be pneumonia or something to that effect. Then it goes to Jackie Chan as an exercise equipment salesman who's doing these backflips on a trampoline to impress this girl, and the guy's like, is he hit on my wife? Or Jackie Chan seeing a robbery happen, and you can find an elevator where he's moving stuff around, and some, I thought, pretty decent action sequences, and that's really the reason to watch this film. And if I find the cover, what's funny about this, nobody else other than Jackie is on that in the movie. Like, all these women and other people, they're not in the movie. So yeah, like, where the hell did that poster come from? But like I said, this is really one of those movies that you could pop in, fast forward to the action scenes, and maybe you have a good time with that, because the plot truly doesn't matter in this. The action scenes, though, I mean, again, there's a robbery. He's fighting people in an elevator, moving stuff around, using the environment, jumping from roof to a crane. The crane is moving and going to a real fucking building, smashing the thing up. Doing pretty big stuff. The end of the film, the jump ahead, is a big take on Speed. It really is. It's a big take on the film Speed, where this tanker is out of control. I forget why they can't stop it, but the tanker's out of control. There's a fire on the back. Jackie has to get the wife and the kid and the father out of it, and it's either the guy driving, Jackie in the passenger seat, or then he's driving, and it's smashing through stuff, like stuff you would think from the movie Speed, smashing through stuff, and it did some nice practical effects and stunt work. There's that. It is a film that the English dub does have Jackie Chan's voice dubbing himself, because that's not always the case. Police Story, for example. You watch Police Story 2, there's an English dub, but it's not Jackie Chan's voice. But here it is, and I appreciate that. Yeah, the dubbing might not be on point specific, but if I'm going to hear an English dub, I still want it to be Jackie Chan's voice. I'm so attuned to what he sounds like. What's another person speaking English in his mouth. But I like Police Story 1 and 2. I do think I would like those films more if it was actually Jackie Chan dubbing himself. I know that's superficial. I still like those movies, but again, it's just one of those things that bother me when you watch the foreign version. Well, I don't even know if that's his voice either. It doesn't sound like it, and I've read that it is. I've read that it isn't. I don't know. Maybe they're just bullshitting me. But I'm like, okay, I know he's speaking different language, but it doesn't sound like his tone of voice. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, off tangent. But the story of the film is that, depending which cut you watch, this guy gives him a job. Hey, there's this guy, pretend to be his son, and maybe you'll get some stuff out of it. I don't even know how the fuck to remember this. Like, this guy's dying, pretend to be his son, his long-lost son. It goes to Istanbul, a security box. He's able to sign for it because of this cross where you could put... Again, the plot doesn't fucking matter. I barely remember the fucking plot, and I just saw it. What I do remember is the action scenes, like when he sees a guy who's supposed to pretend is his father. Some guys are trying to kill him, and Jackie Chan's fighting them in this hospital and using these paddles to shock them. And there's a point where one's on one and one's on his cheek, and they shock each other. Oh, they're pretty cool. At action scene where he's using the shock paddles in a hospital, that's cool. It's not something you see every day. Or the bit when he's relaxing at a Turkish bath, bad guys are following him, he's flying from one room to the other, he gets these umbrellas to float down, and he gets in his market, and they keep taking his stuff, and he keeps getting butt naked. And it's just what does he find to cover himself? He finds plates, he finds little brooms, towels, really nice choreography. Like, there's these big plates, and he's punching someone in order to get it, so he's hiding his dick, and the way it's all choreographed, very well, on point, on camera. That's the stuff that stands out. The other stuff where something about opium, and he meets this girl, then he gets caught, but then there's some other guys fuck up the terrorists. Again, this is kind of that weird tone where Jackie Chan gets the gun and he burns himself. But then immediately the terrorist gets shot. One even falls on Jackie and gets blood all over him. So we went from ooh, it burns to oh, there's blood on me. It's like, it's a kind of a weird tone to it. I don't know if I would call it consistent. Like I said, there's some decent action set pieces. There's a bit where he takes a hook and a crane, hooks it to the dock, and the entire dock is lifted up. Like, nice big set piece. Or even like a bad guy's in a helicopter in the third act. Jackie Chan's in a motorcycle, slides the motorcycle so it hits the airplane, not helicopter, in the airplane. And then Jackie Chan slides the bike and it hits the bottom wheels of the airplane and stops the bad guy. And then that gets into a car. Jackie Chan gets on a motorcycle to ride to the bad guys, fight them in the car. And the car's kind of hooked to the back of this tanker truck. Defeats the bad guys, but then, like, the bad guys are nothing to run home about. I can't tell you a fucking thing about the bad guys. I can't even tell you who the actor of the bad guys were. I mean, I really would call this one of the lesser Jackie Chan films in this time period. I mean, yeah, I would probably rather watch this than fucking Police Story Lockdown or The Spy Next Door or what the fuck was that movie called? The Tuxedo. Why do you have a bug up your ass about the Tuxedo? The first fucking scene is an animal pissing in the fucking stream. That's how a Jackie Chan film starts. An animal pissing in the stream. Really? Really? That's how you don't do this? Really? I don't know, but... And also, I think... Depending which... Like, the ending of the American cut seems abruptly cut. I think the overseas one, the ending's a bit longer. But, I mean, that's what I mean, like, the plot... The plot doesn't matter. The plot, it just... You're kind of in the realm of, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what the plot is. I barely understand how it all links together. Where this guy wants you to pretend to be this guy's son, but then these guys try to kill him. But then you find clues, and you go to Istanbul, and you get security bots. But then there's this thing, it's something to do opium. Or if you see another cut, it deals with anthrax. Or a higher dosage of anthrax, a higher dosage of opium, a different, super opium, whatever the hell. But then, you meet this girl, then you have a Turkish bath, then you escape, then you meet the girl again, then you get caught, but then the one guy wants to rescue you so that he can take the thing, but then he wants to kill you, and then the girl dies. I forget even how the fuck the girl dies. Did she die from an overdose, or did she die for something else? I don't even remember how the hell she died. I really don't remember. And then, oh, well, that girl dead, fuck you, I'm gonna get a motorcycle, slam, and then the whole ending I mentioned there. And then the guy, oh, remember me? I talked to you at the beginning of the film. Well, you know what, I saw you on the news with that robbery, and I thought, hey, you could be an accidental spy. You could be a guy we use, and, hey, you worked out. You're a pretty good fighter. What the fuck? Really? I don't know how to put it. I did not give a fuck about this plot. Jackie Chan still has that charm. The action scenes are still fun. I guess the plot made me allergic to his bullshit. Well, again, this is one of those Jackie Chan films that are, in a way, it's forgettable, aside from a few action set pieces. It didn't make me mad, because the cut I saw is only 80 minutes long, and by the time I'm getting bored, there's another decent action scene. And, I do miss and enjoy the heyday of Jackie Chan, because let's face it, Jackie Chan is much older. That's just age. He can't do what he could back in the day. That's age. That happens with everybody. So when you see a Jackie Chan film today, the last Jackie Chan film I truly enjoyed was Skip Trace, that Rennie Harlan directed. I like Jackie Chan a lot. I liked Rumble in the Bronx, Super Cop, Operation... I mentioned some of them. I liked Rush Hour 1 and 2. I liked Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Nights, it's grown on me a bit. But again, this is one of those movies that if you were to ask me who the villain was, I could see his face, but I can't tell you a fucking thing about him. That's just how it is with the plot. Just not that involving, not that interesting. Barely makes sense. You really could call this a non-existent plot. And again, I've seen Jackie Chan films where the plot I could deal with a bit more. Even something as goofy as City Hunter, I got a bit more into the plot than this. Yeah, I liked some of the action, story, whatever. Jackie Chan's still charming. Short pace, short film, short running time. Short pace, short running time. I guess one of those, watch it during a Jackie Chan marathon and make up your own mind. Really, I don't see this being anybody's favorite Jackie Chan film. If it is, cool. I'd love to hear why, out of curiosity. But I just don't see anyone going, this is my favorite Jackie Chan movie. I'd be like, oh, okay, why? Why is that the case? But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.